Hey everyone, so now we have the pages set up. We have a home page for active users, a home page for pending users, canceled or rejected members, and for an admin user. We're going to now create a list of users that are pending for the admin user to manage on their page, and then we'll hook up how to process those users and approve or reject them from here. To do this, we are going to start with adding a second row inside of this column, and we will do a list view. No, we will do a list view directly in the column. Yes. In the list view, I'm going to do a container. In this container, we'll do a column that has a row in it with text and another row with some text, and the first one will be set from variable the authenticated user's display name. The second one set from variable authenticated user email. And on both of those rows, I will go ahead and set them to center aligned on the main axis. And then on the next row, I'm going to add a, how do I want to do that? I guess I'll just add a couple of buttons in here. Button, and another button. This first one will say approve. The second one will say reject. On the approve button, I'm going to change its fill color to a green, and I will add a thumbs up on the approve. On the reject, I'm going to make it a red and add a X. On this row, I'm going to go ahead and center these as well. And on each button, I'm going to add just a little bit of uniform spacing around them so they're not touching. On the container itself, I'm going to add some spacing below it, so as these stack in the list view, they'll have a little gap between them. And I'm going to add a small box shadow underneath it with a small border radius. That's not small. There we go. The column inside of it is fine. I will just, on the first row, I'll add a little space there. So now all of that is inside of that container. I'm going to go ahead and shrink the spacing on this text now that we have something there. All right, so now we have a list view that has this container in it. And what we want to do is we actually want to switch over to the generate children. No, it's the query collection. And we are going to query the users. get a full list of the documents, but we want to filter by member status and set it to equal to specific value pending. What this is going to do is this is going to load all the users, but filter out and only show us ones that have a member status of pending. I'll hit confirm, and this says that it is going to generate the children dynamically, so we will have multiples of these. And now you'll see those are kind of grayed out, and we have a list that it's going to make as needed. So let's go ahead and finish out the approve and reject buttons before we build the app again. So let's click on the approve button and go to actions, add action, and in here we're going to do a database update document. We're going to select the user document reference for the document to update, which is going to be the Firebase document, and we are going to set the member status to active. We're not actually checking anything for active. We're just using that as the live member. On the home page, you could do something else if you wanted to, as far as making sure that it was active and not just defaulting to the page. But we're just using active for our own sake in the database. On reject, we're going to do the same thing. Go to actions, add action, database, update document, select the reference as the user's document reference, add field, and set the member status to cancel. Just make sure that anything that you have a condition for, you set the value to it exactly, or you will get some surprising or just completely broken results. I use those values on this home page in its actions as cancel, pending, and then just the is admin for the admin user. So this page now should have the ability to manage these users, and they will disappear. We can go ahead and we can create another section below all of this for the active users. And so this, I'm going to rename this whole section as pending users, and then I will duplicate the section as active users. In this section down here, I'm going to change the heading to active users. And then in the parent column that all of these are in, we want to make sure that the column itself is scrollable. So in this case, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference, but I'm going to do this outer level here and set it to scrollable and uncheck primary, and now we can scroll on this page. And that's really not necessary with 1 or 2 users at a time, but as it grows, you'll definitely want to make sure that you can access them. So down here in the active users, we have a list view because we duplicated here, but we really want to make sure in this list view that on the backend query section, we change this filter to be active instead of pending. Now, because these are active users, we no longer need an approve and reject. We can change these. Let's say we want this one to be make admin, We'll change its icon to admin. Let's do this guy. And we'll make it wider so you can read it all, and change its background to gray. And then this red one to cancel. We'll leave the action on the cancel one the same, since it's just changing that status to cancel their account. And on make admin, we'll go to its actions, and instead of updating its member status, we're going to make its is admin set to true. If you made a user an admin, the next time they logged in, they would be able to access this page as well. Okay, now that we have all that together, let's build and see what we get. Okay, now that it's built, we are logged in as an admin user, and you can see there are no other users in here right now. So we're going to log out, and we are going to create a couple of users. Test one at, all right, we've created an account. This one is pending. Log out, register a new one. Obviously, you will want some sort of validation or checks or other process to make sure that you're not getting spam accounts, or maybe some like email confirmation before you create their account officially. But for now, this is fine. We have two users who are test accounts, and they are currently pending. And we're now going to log back in as our admin user. And you'll see we have the admin user several times. So we're seeing our admin user over and over because I forgot to update where this data is pulling from. So let's go back and fix that. So on this page here, we have the display name and email. Once we did the child generation from the queries of the users, we actually need to change these display names. They need to be set to the user document that is referenced here. And so that's the display name for this one. And then this one, we change this to user document email. And we'll do the same on this lower section. Change this display name to display name, and this email to the user document email. Confirm. Run again. Okay, now that we've rebuilt, we have our test 1, test 2, test 1, and test 2. Which this should actually not be there. So let's go ahead and switch back one more time. We have our list view here with a filter for pending, and a list view down here with a filter that still says pending. Change this to active and hit confirm. One more time. Okay, so now we have the manage users for pending users, and we have our active users down here. If you would like, as an admin user, you also have the ability in FlutterFlow in your query to exclude the current user, and if you check this and hit confirm, then it will not show the current user in your list of active users. It excludes them from any queries you're running. So from here, we have test 1, and I am going to reject test 1, and I'm going to approve test 2. As soon as I approve test 2, you'll see that they appeared down here because they are now active users, and we do not have any pending users. What I can do now is I can log out and log in as our test 1 user. And you will see that they have been canceled or rejected. Log out, and I can log back in as the test 2 user. And they are taken to the actual home page because they are no longer pending and they are active members. We log in one last time as the admin user and promote test 2 to an admin and log out. We can then log back in as test 2 and see that test 2 is now also getting the admin screen instead of the regular user's screen. At this point we have the pieces working, and we'll just do a little bit of cleanup in the next video, and we'll be good to go.